A1 come with the key.
What's going on, everybody? This is Christopher Thomas from Inside the Hashes. I'm here with another exclusive interview. Today, I get to sit down with cornerback from Coastal Carolina University, Lance Boykin. Lance, how you doing today, man?
I'm doing great, man. It's another day. It's a blessing. You know, I got activity on my limbs, so man, everything's going great.
All right. So before we start talking about, the player that you are today, let's dive back a little bit. So, what made you decided to, pursue football? What was that thing that started it all for you?
Really, my dad. My dad had an extensive career at his school. He went to Guilford College, a small school in Greensboro, North Carolina. He set the interception record there. So, and he got an opportunity to play professionally, but it didn't last too long. So he kind of introduced me to the game early, and I was just natural with it ever since I picked up a ball. Like, I knew I was gonna be like gifted to do this thing for some time. So that was kind of my first. It wasn't like my first love because I thought I was a hooper, but I was always naturally gifted with it. So yeah.
Yeah, and I saw your high school stats as well. Not only you're a good corner, you're also a pretty good running back as well. So what made you stick with corner as opposed to try to, go full all in and running back?
Really, like, just the love for it. Like, I just get an adrenaline rush when I'm able to just shut guys completely down and kind of take their will, if you will. It's something special that it does for me when I'm able to just, line up in front of somebody and tell them like you can't get open, and that's special for me. So I say just the love for it, for real.
Man, before you went to Coastal Carolina, you spent some time in Old Dominion. So what originally was your thought process, or just the process in general, about deciding to go to Old Dominion first?
Really, they were the first school to offer me out of high school. I was lightly recruited. I went to a small high school, so not too many college scouts came through there. So the ones that did were like ODU, Coastal actually came, a couple other mid-major schools, but ODU was the first school to really take a chance on me, and I felt like believed in me. So I just felt a sense of loyalty to be like, man, yeah, they were the first guys that really thought I could do it. So I'm going to honor them with my commitment.
Right there. Sounds like a great man of integrity. So how was those first 2 to 3 years at Old Dominion? And what did you get out of it?
I grew a lot. I was a very, very young player. I got to play as a true freshman there. Had a pretty good freshman year. Sophomore year, didn't see the field as much. But yeah, I say, man, those years were great. Like, I learned a lot about myself. I learned a lot about what I needed to work on, and just what I need to do going forward so I could be the person that I am today. And I can honestly say, if I didn't go through the little adversities that I went through there, I wouldn't be who I am today here at Coastal.
And, unfortunately, 2020 wasn't that too long ago. Everyone had to deal with the pandemic, COVID-19. And unfortunately, Old Dominion didn't play that year. So how did the pandemic affected you personally?
I was able to spend a lot of time with myself and just really looking in the mirror and just self-reflecting on, things I could truly work on and getting better, whether it's on the field or off the field. I really feel like with all that time I had on my hands, I just was able to become a more complete player on the field and just work on things that I always wanted to work on. And then off the field, I was able to become a better person. I was able to grow spiritually with my faith in the Lord. And man, that was just a big time for me. It was much needed because I was able to truly just work on myself.
And after that season, you made the decision to transfer over to Coastal Carolina. So what prompted that decision?
I say really just there was a coaching change at ODU. So the guys that recruited me first all had gotten dismissed from the program. And, I just felt like in my heart Like it was just a new start. I wanted something fresh. And, Coastal, actually, the Jordan Strong was one of my friends before he came to Coastal, before I knew I was coming to Coastal. And me and him had always been dialoguing. We always had that friendship. So I'm like, man, I want to go play with my brother. And it's done nothing but great things ever since I've gotten here. So.
Absolutely. So in regards to what was the major difference that you had to adjust yourself coming into Coastal Carolina, coming from Old Dominion? What was like the biggest adjustment for you?
I would say just adjusting to a new culture. I love the way they do things down here at Coastal. It's real family oriented. Everybody has each other's back, and just being able to come into a new culture and trying to adjust and build friendships and try to, just get to know my teammates better and understand them better so we can let that translate onto the field. But I would say my transition here hasn't been it wasn't hard by any means. Like, I feel like we had a natural chemistry as soon as I got here. So it's really been like a smooth transition in all honesty.
So if you have to rank three things in regards to, your preparation to every game, practice, game filming, and weight room, how would you rank those three in terms of priority?
I would say practice is number one. I'm a firm believer, whatever you do in practice, you're going to do in the game. So I try to come out to practice and treat it every day like a game day. Because, it essentially is, your body is trained by muscle memory. So whatever you do in practice, you're going to naturally do in the game. So I try to overemphasize everything in practice and try to just make every practice how I'm going to do it on Saturday. And then game film is number two, because you obviously got to understand your opponent. You got to know his strengths, his weaknesses, what they like to do in certain situations. And yeah, that game film is really essential. And what was the third one again? I'm sorry.
Oh, weight room.
Weight room. Oh yeah, you got to keep. That's probably three. You got to keep your body right. You got to make sure you're getting these lifts in, just keeping soreness down, keeping muscle fatigue down, so you can continue to play at a high level on Saturdays.
Mm-hmm. And you talked about game film being second. So what are some things that you look at, when you're watching film going up against an opposing wide receiver? Like, what is the first thing that catches your mind whenever you're going up against?
First, I like to see how big he is, his size, his stature. Then I like to see his speed. How is he down the field? Is he a vertical threat, or is he more of a possession guy? Then when I'm actually watching film, I try to look for tendencies. How does he line up when it's a pass versus the run? What are quarterback tendencies when it's a pass? How does the quarterback have a relationship with his receiver that we can see on film? I try to look for everything. Is he an aggressive blocker? I really just try to dissect each and every part of his game. And I feel like I got good coaches that help me do that as well. So by the time Saturday comes, we've seen everything that we're pretty much going to see. Not to say that they're not going to change it up from week to week, but I feel like we get a pretty good gauge in the film study we do during the week, to allow us to put our best foot forward on Saturday.
So and when you're watching film of NFL cornerbacks, who is the first YouTube clip or first tape that you pop on to try to add to your game, or you see similar styles to your game?
Say Jalen Ramsey. I feel like me and him are both big corners. We got that swag out there, that confidence. And I love what he's done for the game. I love everything that he's continuing to do. So I'll easily turn it on to Jalen Ramsey mic'd up before a game, or a Jalen Ramsey versus a DK Metcalf, and just see the confidence and aggression he played with. I try to put that in my game, and I feel like we got kind of similar personalities. So And he's definitely number one. But another good guy I like to watch is Patrick Surtain from the Broncos. He's also a big corner. We have similar stature and size. I like to watch his technique. He's very smooth out there. So those are probably my main two corners I like to look at.
And listen, like you said, like you're a big corner. You're about 6'2", 6'3". So do you feel like that's more of an advantage for you, or being a bigger corner?
Most definitely, because most receivers are used to smaller corners that can't really, get physical with them. And I feel like, that's what gives me all the more advantage. Now a receiver got to deal with somebody his exact same size, if not bigger. So it really can throw them off. And once I'm able to use my hands and get hands on guys, it makes them difficult for them to catch anything over me, especially a jump ball. Like, I'm a former basketball player too, so you kind of playing into my hands if you throw one of those up. So,
love the confidence. So when you got the opportunity to play, your old school, Old Dominion, so was that a game like you took personally, or that was just like, oh, it is what it is in terms of just part of your schedule?
Coach Shadwell, he does a good job of making sure, he says we play a nameless opponent every week, and ultimately it's you versus you. So I took that same mentality into that game. Unfortunately, we didn't come out with the win, but I didn't put any extra pressure. Knowing that I was playing my old school, it was just kind of, this is our next opponent, and we know what we're trying to do with our season. So, they're the next opponent in our way. So we just got to treat it as such and not make the moment bigger than what it is.
And I have to say, probably out of all the positions in football, cornerback is probably the hardest because, once, you do good and you lock down your opponent, it's great. But when you give up a big play or two, you got to have a short memory and move on to the next play. So how do you keep that even killed mentality where it's like nothing comes in and nothing goes out?
I say just just the confidence and, like you said, cornerback is definitely one of the hardest positions. I don't think people understand, how hard it truly is to be able to stop somebody running forward while you're going backward. But I say just the confidence in it, man, like understanding that, the best corners get beat. That's just a part of it, but it's how you respond. Are you going to put your head down and pout about it? Because that could turn into you getting beat some more. Are you going to, suck it up? Like, okay, I got beat right here. I'm going to see what I did wrong, and I'm going on to the next play. And I feel like that's kind of how life works, life going to try to knock you down, throw adversities at you, but it's all about how you respond to it and are you going to, stand up and, keep fighting, or are you going to give in to it and be weak-minded? So that's why I love the cornerback game, because I'm able to put the same stuff like on the field and to life as well. So.
Great to hear. So what are some things that you still feel like is still missing from your game for being a complete corner?
It's a great question. I just want to work on being like a smarter player. I am a very smart player as it is, but it's always, things that you don't necessarily know that come with experience that I want to be able to learn. But I feel like I just got to keep working on everything. That's just a part of it. I want to refine every part of my game, no matter if I feel like it's my strong suit or not. Like, I want to keep getting better at every little part of the game. But I definitely just want to become like a smarter corner than I already am.
And first, I just want to congratulate you, because I saw the news you got invited to this year's Shrine Bowl game. So when you got the news about that, what was your initial reaction?
It's a blessing. God is great. If only people would have seen how much work I had to put just to get to college. I didn't even know I was gonna make it to play college football, coming from such a small high school. So the fact that I'm living my dream, playing D1 football, and getting that type of news is definitely a blessing. But At the end of the day, we got Southern Miss this week, and that's like more of my main focus.
So, obviously you're a senior. So what has been the advice for, upcoming freshmen, redshirt freshmen that you've been giving them, being a part of this program?
I say just humble yourself. Because I was guilty of it too. I came in as a freshman. I thought I was all this and that, but then you quickly realize like this is a whole new level. The stuff you did in high school will not necessarily work in college. So the quicker you can humble yourself and realize that, man, you got a lot of work to do and a lot of time to put in, and be able to listen to the older guys and the coaches, that's going to, allow you to be all the more better. It's the people that come in with a lot of pride and think that they already got it figured out. That's the people that it takes the longest for them to see results. So I'd say humble yourself.
Great words of wisdom. Lance, once again, I want to thank you for taking the time to do this interview. On behalf of Inside the Hashes, we truly appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you, man. It was great.
Yeah, man. Good luck this week, and good luck to your future.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Appreciate it.